Hey everybody, welcome back to Chortle Cast. I'm Jake.
And I'm Brody.
And we also have a special guest for the first time, Ryan from Classy Gamer.
What's up, everybody? Hey, nice to meet all of you. Welcome to the Chortle Cast.
So Ryan and Brody and I have all been talking through Discord and Twitter for like months and months and months, trying to figure out something we can do to collab. And Ryan, you just got done streaming, was it Kingdom Hearts 2 that you were streaming?
I was streaming Kingdom Hearts 2 for a little while there,
Yeah.
but moved on to some other things. But yeah, that was one of the last series we finished.
Yeah, I know Brody was watching that and he was kind of mentioning it to you, and then you were like, oh my god, we need to do a podcast where we talk about Kingdom Hearts. So that's kind of grown into what we're going to do today. But anyway, in case you didn't know, Chortle Cast is the official podcast of Chortle Games, where we talk about TV shows, movies, anime, games, whatever the heck we want to talk about. And we've got a great show. Ryan's here. We're going to be talking about childhood games and just things we played in our childhood. And a big part of that...
Wee tykes.
Yes, wee tights, as the classy gentleman says. Yeah, we're just going to kind of talk about old games that we used to play and everything like that. So, yeah.
Just be prepared for me to say a lot of things about Zelda and a lot of things about Kingdom Hearts.
That's exactly how I feel. Like, if you were to ask me what were the games that defined my childhood, I would think of Zelda and Kingdom Hearts. But
Dude, I was about to say, like, Kingdom Hearts and the frustrations and horrors of not being able to pass bosses, and because I was like 10 when it came out,
right.
And Majora's Mask and the horrors and terrible things that scarred me from that game as a child.
That is one of the scariest games I've ever played.
Such a good game.
Oh, it's amazing. It's my favorite Zelda. It's also one of my favorite games of all time. I do speedruns of it still.
Right.
But yeah.
So let's start off our conversation with what was the first gaming system that you ever had, that you ever played on, even if it was like your parents, and that's kind of how you picked up into it. For me, it was Nintendo 64, and me and Brody just kind of reviewed a bunch of games that were on Nintendo 64, and I was blown away by how many I remembered. But the only one that I really remember is Donkey Kong 64, and I would play the
Donkey
crap
Kong
out of that.
64. Yeah.
It's good stuff, man.
Did y'all beat that?
No. It's
Yes.
super. Did you beat it, Ryan?
Well, I did beat it, but I ended up coming back and beating it when I was well into my teenage years.
I was just about to ask. Yeah.
I got to Castle Keep where like K. Rool's chilling on stuff. Where you finally get enough bananas to like break that door with 100 bananas, and you're like, holy crap, there's another level.
Yeah,
I thought I was with the final boss.
I just remember needing blueprints for something, and I never could find all the blueprints. So, but I never went back as a teenager to try and do it. So.
Yeah, the blueprints, along with like getting those special like medallions and medals and stuff like that you had to get to open that last door.
Right.
Like my little brain couldn't comprehend that.
No.
Man, I had a blast getting to that point, but my little brain, no way.
I don't know how far I even got. I feel like I went on a trip once and came back from it, and my dad was like, "Yo, I beat DK64 or something," and I was like, "How?"
I remember there was a lady I knew as a child who she had beaten Nintendo 64, and I was just like, she's so cool because she beat
Nintendo 64?
Donkey Kong 64 or whatever.
Yo, was this like a mom that like beat Donkey Kong 64?
Yeah, a mom.
What?
A mom. Chase's
What a dope mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his dad like played the crap out of Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah. Banjo-Kazooie was another great one on the 64 that I remember playing.
Oh my gosh. I think, well, my first console was also the Nintendo 64, unless you want to count. I played Return to Castle Wolfenstein with my dad on the computer once.
Okay.
And there was
cool.
Obviously not a good decision for a child to make.
Or maybe it was a good decision. Set you apart.
I mean, I enjoyed it. My mom didn't. But I think Nintendo 64 was my first one. I actually didn't even play Ocarina of Time until the GameCube Collector's Edition came out. So I jumped straight into Majora's Mask.
Yep.
There was Banjo-Kazooie. Of course, there was Banjo-Tooie. Can't have the games without the sequel.
See, I only played like maybe the first hour and a half of Banjo-Tooie. I can't remember if I rented it or what it was. I just never got to finish it. But I was so excited when I found it because I was like, oh, Tooie, this is great. I love the first one.
Yep. So did you rent it from Blockbuster?
I think it was Hollywood Video was where our town had that I rented it from. But Blockbuster was another one that Brody and I, when we would like have sleepovers or whatever, we'd always go to Blockbuster and Hollywood Video, and we'd just see who had the better games that week, and then we'd go back from there.
There was like one time I rented a really crappy like Spider-Man game or something from Hollywood Video, and we're like, no, we're
Nintendo
taking
64
this back.
Spider-Man?
No, I think it was GameCube. It was like a
Okay.
side-scrolling, really comic book style.
Yeah, so
Side
you,
scroll on GameCube?
Yeah.
So you know what we went back and got instead that was way better was Sonic Unleashed.
Oh yeah. Real bad.
Man, this game is great. We're going so fast. This feels like a good Why am I a werewolf?
Why am
Pretty
I
much,
a
yeah.
Why am I slow?
And I remember this was probably when we were in like 6th grade that there was like just pictures of Sonic and the Black Knight, and we were like, dude, he's got a sword. This is going to be the coolest Sonic game ever.
We were on different pages. I didn't think it was cool at all. So have you guys been friends ever since like you just grew up that way?
Pretty much, yeah. We grew up together, so
See, that's pretty dope.
I had a bunch of friends that were girls when I was younger. So Brody, you were probably one of my first guy friends. So that's
Girls didn't like me, man. Girls did not like me as a kid.
I don't know how to help you. I was born with nothing but friends. I was just girlfriends everywhere. So
Would have traded a lot for that. I was I had that ye olde bowl cut, and I had that nice little middle. Hold on, let me get on my camera. I'll try to reenact it. I can't even do it. My hair's not the same anymore. I had this, and it was like a little middle part right there.
Right.
So it sat. I might send a.
I'm imagining like
Sorry, I might send them a picture.
I'm imagining like alfalfa kind of ish.
No, more like matted down, like straight down.
Oh, nice.
You know, kind of greasy. Everyone had a middle school, okay?
So Brody, was your first a 64? Is that what you first started playing on?
Yes, I think so. I like vaguely remember like playing NES games, but I don't think we ever owned an NES. But definitely 64.
So
My first, go ahead.
I was just gonna say. So for me, GameCube was the GameCube era. So GameCube, PlayStation 2. That's where I really kind of remember becoming a gamer and like really liking stuff. Because before it was just, oh, here's this cool thing my mom has that I'm playing, but I don't like. I'm enjoying it, but I don't really know what I'm doing. Whereas GameCube and PS2, Kingdom Hearts, that was like, oh, I get this. Like I'm playing.
See, it was definitely that's kind of the same for me. Like PlayStation 2, GameCube is where I like really got into it. Like really everything like really kicked in. But see, like I grew up. I had a couple like neighborhood friends, but like I really didn't get along with kids at school. I got bullied a good bit.
Yep.
And my brother and I also didn't get along very well growing up either. So it was like I came home, like what was there to do other than I'm not gonna hang out with the kids in my neighborhood that aren't very nice to me. So what am I gonna do?
Right.
So
right.
I would just kind of sit there and play video games. And like it started out when I was really young as kind of like this is my escape.
Right.
And like this is just what I do. But like now that I'm an adult, I'm like I just want some free time for video games.
Amen. I've literally taken off some days at work just to play games. Like I knew I wasn't going anywhere. I just was gonna sit and play. I think I did that for Destiny when Destiny came out.
I don't blame you.
Because I just was like, I need a day to just
like,
not have any pressure.
When Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out for us, like.
Ryan, we were just talking about this. Like I said, we were watching some videos of like games that were on different systems. Did you know or realize that PS3 never had a solo Kingdom Hearts game?
I did. I remember when they announced 2.5, I was like, are you freaking kidding me? They don't even have a
crazy.
solo title yet.
That's
was
crazy.
very triggered.
Because I remember, I thought that Kingdom Hearts 2 was on the PS3, but it was on. It was actually still on 2.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
people that grew up with the game, like us, have been waiting, like what, 10 years? More than 10 years for Kingdom Hearts 3?
We're getting close to 15. I think.
15?
Wow,
I think
that
so.
is incredible.
It's like 12
and
or
super
13,
disappointing.
maybe. Yeah.
2 came out in 2006.
So
It came out in 2006?
11 years.
Yeah,
11 years.
I am going to double check. I believe you though. That is just like so disappointing.
Yeah, I know.
Like
I know.
It's
Really,
crazy.
the fact that nothing came out on PS3 really that solidifies it for me. It's like holy crap, we went through a whole system era.
I still need to go back and play it. I really want to freaking play Birth by Sleep.
Oh, you haven't gotten it yet?
You haven't played Birth by Sleep yet?
Well, see, Birth by Sleep, it's nostalgic in the way that the combat gets a lot more simplified again, but at the same time, you have to play through the story like 3 times. As each different character, and like it's cool. There are enough differences, but like,
So
I don't know, it
Ryan,
got a little repetitive to me. Yeah.
when you played through Birth by Sleep, did you struggle as any of the characters? Like, was any
Ven.
character harder to play? Ven was
Ven.
harder to play for you?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Ven.
Interesting.
The bosses were harder on Terra, but Ven, his combat and like how frail he was, and he didn't do a whole lot of damage. I played on Proud my first playthrough.
Right.
Jeez, man.
Yeah, I did
so-
too.
Both.
It's
What's
just-
wrong with y'all?
Because I was like, I know I'm eventually going to have to go back and play it in Proud, and I'm going to want to, so I might as well just start there.
And also, I'm not a filthy casual, so
I feel like games now is like, I'll just put it on normal, so it's like I can beat this game because I don't have time to
I
play
put
it
things
on
on normal now
difficulty.
because I don't have time. Yeah, exactly.
the thing about games now though is like it's either there's no middle ground. It's either too easy or too hard.
Yeah, that is a
Yep.
good point. But
You
also,
get you get your Cupheads, and then you get the other releases of the year. Like honestly, Mario Odyssey is amazing, but it's honestly pretty easy.
yeah, it's some of the later moons can be challenging, but there's so many workarounds that you can make it really easy if you're smart.
They did like platforming so well in Odyssey.
Yeah.
Like I've gotten pretty good with like the double hat jumps and
Yeah.
stuff. It's like
Yeah,
it just feels good.
That's great.
I can't wait to actually get my hands on it to have it for myself and not just playing my friends or my girlfriend's Switch. I'm so
You need to
so
get you a
excited
Switch,
to actually
Ryan.
have it. What?
You need to get you a Switch, Ryan. I thought you were
I know,
selling a
I-
kidney.
I know I need a Switch. I'm poor, okay?
How did Jess
I-
get
I-
one before
I make-
you?
Just so you guys know, I make a grand total of $1 a month on YouTube.
Oh man, that's more than us.
That's more
So-
than us. We've been at this for almost a year, and we've got 25 cents. So you're doing great, man. We're
Well-
looking at you.
The only real revenue I've gotten is from donations and apparel, and literally that all feeds straight back into the channel anyway. Like,
Yeah.
I use some of the funds to actually get some of the apparel for us to wear.
Right,
Like
right.
I ordered a shirt for me and a shirt for my friend,
Uh-huh.
and buying new equipment, buying games for the channel. Like,
Yeah.
very little of it has been pocketed.
We're negative.
Because
We're
it's-
in the negatives then.
You're in the negative. Yo, dude.
I pay for a lot. I pay for a lot of the games and stuff. We try to stick to stuff that's like on PS Plus and stuff that we get for free every month.
Yep.
Try to use those up, but sometimes they just aren't really good for channel videos. But anyway,
If we had a computer, we could do the Steam sales and just
well,
destroy our wallets.
my Mac has Steam on it now, so
You need to
can
build
play
yourself a
anything.
PC.
Yeah,
Call,
you can't
call
play
me up.
anything.
I'll fly down, up, sideways, upside down, wherever you're at. I'll come
I
build
think
your PC
sideways
for you.
for us.
Sideways, yeah. I don't know. We may
Yo,
be
my
upside
plane
down.
flies sideways.
Yeah. Well, the reason I asked if you had problems with Birth by Sleep on any character was because the only person that I played well as was Vin, and it's because he was the most like Sora to me. So
That's interesting.
yeah, so I thought Terra played a lot more like what little bit you've played of Riku in any game. I thought he felt a lot more like that, and I
Yeah, a
I
lot more
just
brute
liked,
force and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
I was
So,
the
slower.
loser that always thought Riku was like the coolest character in Kingdom
Yeah.
Hearts.
Yeah.
And he plays so, from what I remember, I haven't played Kingdom Hearts 2 in forever, but like he plays so clunky, I feel like, in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Well, yeah, I mean, he was only designed to be used during one fight.
Yeah.
Right.
He was super clunky. Like, you have a shield, a jump, and like a standard attack. And like, if you do one thing wrong during that final fight, Xemnas just starts like beating you down with his shield.
Exactly.
When I was a kid, during that final fight, I guess spoilers for some reason, 11-year-old spoilers if you haven't played Kingdom Hearts 2, it's like where the lasers are coming down,
Right. Mhm.
and
And
you
you're
have to
blocking.
press. Yeah, you
So
have to press
cool.
Both buttons at the. I didn't realize you had to press both buttons at the same time. It's like Riku's dying. Why won't he block anything?
Riku, you idiot!
Riku. Oh man.
There's so many There's so many games like growing up as a kid that I never beat and had to come back and play.
Yeah.
And like, did you play Mario 64?
Yeah. A little bit. I never beat it.
Okay. I had never found all the stars.
I don't know that I ever beat any 64 game.
Really?
Maybe one.
Really?
But not a ton.
I
Again,
beat Mario
GameCube is
64.
where I became a gamer and thought and like understood. Oh, there's an objective, and I can go beat this. Like in Banjo-Kazooie, there was some place. There was like a swamp area where you could get turned into a crocodile.
Mm-hmm.
That's all
Bubble
I did.
Gloop Swamp.
That's all I did. Yes, thank you. That's it. I would
You're
just
welcome.
go in there and I'd get turned into an alligator and I'd run around and chomp on things, and I was just like, yeah, this is great. And I would occasionally
I don't see the problem.
I'd find another area where you could turn into something else, but I don't know. Anyway,
It's always, games where you can turn into things have always been like the most fun.
those are
Like
awesome.
an Odyssey. I just like turning into stuff.
Yeah, it's because the mechanics aren't limited by anything. Because if you can become something else, like Mario Odyssey, you can become anything.
I've beaten the game and I've gotten almost all the moons for the first 4 or 5 levels, and there are still things on my capture list that are still blank that I haven't captured.
Yeah, it's like what do you mean I missed something? I hit
know.
everything in the level, and then you like throw your hat at a tree. You're like, I'm a freaking tree right now.
I saw
freaking tree.
I watched Donkey's video and he was like, "You can be a tree," and I was like,
You can be a tree.
"What?"
Yeah,
It's pretty great.
that's great.
I like the transformation aspect of Banjo-Kazooie as well. I think my favorite transformation was probably the snowball in Freeze Easy Peak in Banjo-Tooie. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Nope. See, I don't think I
Okay,
ever made
so-
it
I
that
never
far.
played 2.
Basically, there's one world where like it's split in half. One half is like a fiery mountain, and like you go through like a door, and the other half is like a frozen peak. And on the frozen side, you can transform into a snowball, and it's really interesting because you start like normal sized, but you gather size the more you roll around in the snow. And like the larger you get, the more things you can like crush, and like eventually enemies can't even touch you because you're like the size of the map. And you can start like hitting these huge switches, and you're like, this is super cool. And like that was one of my favorite transformations because I remember I would spend as much time as possible rolling around in the snow, getting as big as possible, and then smashing everything in my path.
It's kind of
That's my story. I'm done.
Yeah, a lot like that. Let's see, what else did I play? Let's talk about Kingdom Hearts some more. So, one of the things that always blows my mind about Kingdom Hearts is that as a child, the story made so much sense to me. But now when I think about it, none of it makes any sense.
It's
Did you feel that
It's
way, Ryan, when
complicated.
you first played through it? Did you just think, oh yeah, this totally makes sense? Like, Kyrie was a Heartless, now she's not. I don't...
I remember Kyrie being like, she was kind of in her vegetable state,
Right.
and I was like, dude, what the heck happened to freaking Kyrie? And I couldn't figure it out. And then like, at the end of the game, spoilers, if you haven't played Kingdom Hearts, skip ahead like 10 seconds.
This is like 15-year-old
he's like,
spoilers now.
Kyrie's inside me, and you're like, what? Like my little brain like freaked out, and like it made sense. You're 100% right. Like as a kid, it like made 100% sense when it happened. But I was like, holy crap,
Yeah.
Kyrie's been inside of Sora the whole time.
It just it just blows my mind.
And then there's like 10 versions of Ansem.
Yeah, Ansem or Xehanort, Terranort, whatever.
Xemnas.
Yeah, Xemnas.
Gosh.
Yeah.
God.
Dude, Xehanort
But
gets
it all
around.
made sense. It all made sense to me as a kid. I never once was just like, what? Someone explain this to me. No. It was like, okay, yeah, I understand.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. As an adult, like the more you see the plot holes, the more you're like, come on. No.
So, are you worried about playing Kingdom Hearts 3 now, knowing all these and like plot holes and like it not making sense? Are you worried about it being too like not confusing, but just like so wholly plot holed?
So holy.
I
So
hope
holy.
that they've gotten a little bit wiser to it.
Right.
I don't know. They've had a lot of time to think about the story and really dig into things. And like, there's a lot of plot holes that could be like solved with like a simple line of dialogue or something like that.
Right.
Just like literally like, why does Ven look like Roxas and why does Roxas look like Ven? And it's like, oh, it's because Ven's heart was inside of Sora. And like so many people that like don't get that would be, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like immediately.
Right.
But like there's like so many like open-ended questions that need to be answered, and they could just solve it so quickly. But I honestly don't think they will.
Yeah.
It's Square Enix. They're gonna be like, let's leave some plot holes open until the next game.
I hope
15
they
years
don't.
later.
15 years later.
God. I hope they don't. We always made jokes about it too in 6th grade. We were like, we're going to be 30 by the time we play Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah. At this rate, we could be there.
It's your fault. They heard you. They're like, okay, this is what they want.
I really
give
no,
the people what they want.
I did say 20. I was like, we're probably gonna be like 21 when 3 comes out, and we're past that now. So, Eesh. Yeah, if they take too much longer, I will be 30 by the time it comes out. So
I hope it doesn't end up like Final Fantasy 15, that all the DLCs that they're adding of like the different character stories are like.
I hadn't even thought about that because Kingdom Hearts is so old. It didn't have anything like that.
But it's like,
Dude, yeah.
with
There are
Final
going to be
Fantasy 15,
microtransactions in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh god, it's gonna be like, get this.
Pay
Keyblade.
$5 to get the ultimate Keyblade.
No, I can't have that. I can't have that.
I don't want it.
Okay,
Yo,
so
can we talk about DLC for a second?
Oh yeah, you tweeted about that.
Sure,
morning.
yeah, go for it.
I'm actually gonna do an entire video on like what makes and breaks games, and I'm actually like in the works right now. I'm halfway through it. And one of my main topics is DLC and how dumb it is. And like there is a way to have tasteful DLC.
Right. Oh yeah, definitely.
But I have seen nobody do it except for Borderlands and Mario Kart. That is it.
What is it that just came out?
Shadow of War?
Not Shadow of War. No, that's not a good example.
I was supposed to say, I don't know.
Horizon Zero Dawn. That the DLC that just came out looks like a whole new expansion, not something that they took out of the game and they were like, you can get it added back in for this much.
Yeah, see, like I'd be okay with that. And like, is it like what, like $5 or $10?
I'm not sure how much it is.
I think it's like 15.
Yeah.
15.
But, I mean, it's like
okay, that's starting to
10
approach
hours.
my like do not buy DLC limit. Here, let me explain a little bit so I don't, because I sound like banhammer on DLC. There is a way to put DLC in a game that is tasteful, and that's how like Mario Kart did it.
Right.
That is how Borderlands did it. It's like this is not part of the main story. This is an addition to the game that is optional, and you can do it if you want. If you have some extra bucks lying around, it'll enhance your experience maybe a little bit. For Mario, it's like mainly just aesthetic. But like what we started seeing in the late 2000s and early 2010s is the Call of Duty games releasing DLC. And then if a map came up in like a normal matchmaking setting where the DLC map would be there, you'd be booted from the lobby because you didn't have it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
And you have to go search for a new one.
Like in
And now we see games like Assassin's Creed and Destiny, the first one, being released, where there's day one DLC that is canon to the story that you have to pay for.
I remember.
And like some people are like, oh, I'm all about the experience. And I'm like, okay, cool. Well, then they should have given you the full experience in the $60 you spent on that game.
Yeah, there's some game, I can't remember what it was, that like you had to get the DLC to get the true ending of the game. I cannot remember what it was.
If you remember,
one
you
I
can send
never
that to me.
played.
I'm going to use that as an example in my video.
Was it Mass Effect 3?
I don't know. I hear it talked about in podcasts all the time. Next time I hear it, Ryan, I'll send it to you. But
Because
Yeah,
I
please
know
do.
Paris Games Week was what, 2 weeks ago now?
yeah.
So like, I was watching that with Steven, who's on the podcast,
Usually.
and part of the channel. But we were watching it, and Call of Duty World War II came up. I think that's the name of it. And I was like,
is it.
I bet they're already announcing DLC. And the game hadn't even come out yet. And they were announcing the first DLC pack before the game was even out. And it was
Yeah.
what is wrong with
that
you?
stuff is ridiculous. It's like, hey, we have already planned in advance to make you spend more money on this game.
Right. Yeah. Did you ever play
Like,
Witcher 3, Ryan?
I did not. I
Okay.
am waiting for it to go on really hard sale on Steam.
Well, I was gonna say, I don't know if it's done on a PC, but like they've had like 85% off.
I got it
on,
I got like the entire.
Maybe I'm
Complete
just dumb
edition.
and I don't get on the Steam store enough.
I don't know if it was on Steam. It might have just been like on PlayStation.
Yeah, I bought it for like $20
Store.
last year, and it
Yeah.
came with all the DLC.
The
and
complete
stuff.
edition, yeah.
Yeah.
You can
Wow.
get it for pretty cheap now, but anyway, that their DLC I think works pretty well because it's additional story stuff.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with the main story necessarily. You can beat the game without it, but it's just like if you loved that world and you wanted to do more, here's more. But anyway,
You know what?
those are good.
I want to
Yep.
know what Breath of the Wild second DLC thing is going to be.
Me too. It's coming out in December.
they're saying-
we found out.
I've heard rumors that what they might do is have kind of like a more story-based thing that I don't know if it's gonna be canon or not or whatever, but I heard that they're going to kind of hint at which Link it is because they're saying that it might be the Link that we've seen before. from one of the other games.
Interesting.
So I don't know if that's 100% true. That's a rumor I've heard. That's literally just hearsay. But Nintendo, if you're watching this, make that happen and make it Majora's Mask, Link.
When the game came out, everyone was speculating Ocarina of Time, weren't they?
I thought it was the Link to the Past Link.
Or it may have been Wind Waker. I have no clue.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, yeah,
It
it's
could've
probably
been
that branch
There were
of the
arguments.
timeline.
There were arguments for every point in the timeline. So
I guess we're getting into Zelda now.
yeah.
The Zelda timeline really confuses me.
Dude, let's be honest. They threw it together.
Oh yeah, I completely agree. Someone at Nintendo said, "Hey, you know, it'd be great is if all this made sense."
It was like, if
and they were
Link
like,
dies,
"What?
it goes
What
here."
can we do to make it make sense?"
If Link died in this game, this is where it goes. I've seen
What were you guys' first Zelda game, and what were your favorites?
So my first Zelda game was Wind Waker.
Are you serious?
Yes, Wind Waker is where I started. And according to a bunch of people who I've met and friends, they all say, "Be glad that was the one you started on, because otherwise you'd hate it."
What?
So, which I don't get, because I loved it.
Who told? I'm gonna go punch them in the face. Who said
I
that?
didn't start on Wind Waker, and I loved it. I thought
Yeah.
it was way different. It was a lot easier, but
Right.
it was still a great game.
I might have played Majora's Mask at some point before I really got Wind Waker, but I never owned Majora's Mask.
I never
Majora's
owned it.
Mask.
I rented it and
I
couldn't
have it on
figure out.
every platform it's available on.
I
is a
rented
good
it
game.
as a kid,
Uh-huh.
and I couldn't figure out how to rewind time. So I just was like, the entire 5 days I had it. One, I got too scared because I was like, the moon's
spooky,
just gonna,
man.
Yeah, I was like, the moon's gonna kill me. I can't take the stress over and over
That
again.
final hours soundtrack when you're running around the field and the moon's literally
it's
shaking the
great.
Oh,
earth, you're like,
Because it has the but in the under it, it's like and it's like I'm about to die. I can't.
it's like, this is it. This is the
This
end.
is it. This is it. What was yours, Ryan? Ocarina or?
My first Zelda was Majora's Mask, and
Majora's
that
Mask,
might
yeah.
be kind of why I think it might be the best Zelda, but
Again, it's
I
the
have
transforming
reasons I won't get
aspect.
into unless I'm asked.
Yeah, that was my favorite part, was the masks and the transforming. I wish they would bring that back.
When they showed that there was masks in Breath of the Wild, I was like,
But then they're just
I know.
aesthetic or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
They've got some effects, but whatever.
I think that even by extension, the masks are cool, but how you have to get the masks is the coolest thing. Every single mask is a concrete story of its
Yeah.
own. Yeah, or it's a person, or it's a thing, or it's the stone mask. This is the mask that represents the guy that was never noticed or seen by anybody.
Yeah,
My favorite
It's
mask
it's
was,
super cool that all of them have a backstory.
exactly. Yeah.
which
It's a
mask
lot of depth
was
for a game of that time.
the one that made Link dance that you got from that
The Camaro's
creepy-
mask.
Yeah, that was my favorite mask. It was just so silly. You got it from isn't he a ghost or something?
Yeah, there's a guy who's dying, and he's he hasn't been able to pass on what he's learned and stuff like that, and he's remorseful about it. And Link's yo, I'll teach, and he's okay, here's my face.
Here's my face. You
And then
can be
there's-
me.
Yeah. Then there's one mask that takes the entire 3 days to get.
Oh, the couple's mask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite side quest. It's so fun, but so stressful because if you make one wrong move, you lose. You have to start all over.
It's such a good game. My first one was Ocarina of Time because I went to GameStop. I played it at someone's house and was like, "This is really cool. I want this." And I went to GameStop, and I guess it was at the time that they were getting rid of all their N64 stuff. So I found it in this big pile of Nintendo 64 games for $5 or something. It was
Yeah.
yes, please. And I got
Dude,
it.
wait, you bought... Wait. Hold on. You got Ocarina of Time for $5?
It was.
I don't see. That's the one I probably played the least of. I've played more Majora's Mask.
You know which one has the best soundtrack though? I'd have to say Wind Waker.
Majora's Mask. Majora's
Really?
Mask.
Ryan's answer for everything is going to be Majora's Mask. So Ryan, you've played Breath of the Wild, right?
Absolutely.
Do you like that better than Majora's Mask?
No.
That's what I thought.
Well, okay. Breath of the Wild is it's a different experience. It's
Right.
open
Yeah, I
was
world.
gonna say.
You can do whatever you want in it. It's a Zelda game. Yes, it has those feels, but I honestly I get more enjoyment out of playing Majora's Mask.
Yeah.
Majora's like
good.
if it was acceptable to my viewers, I would stream Majora's Mask several times a month.
Just all month long.
He's playing Majora's Mask again. Unsubscribe.
That's funny. That's funny. So I don't know. Best music. I would probably say
I'd say Wind Waker.
Wind Waker is good. I was gonna say Twilight Princess maybe.
Really?
Would be
That's a good
close
one.
Second.
That has my favorite Hyrule field theme.
Yes, I loved riding around Hyrule and all that.
Bum bada bada bum 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 bada bada bum.
It's perfect.
You played it on the Wii,
I played it on the Wii.
and that was just terrible. Every time I came to your house
Well,
and we played it,
this
there,
is
I was
what's
just
even
like,
funnier.
"This sucks."
This is what's even funnier. I bought the GameCube version and played it on a Wii.
Oh,
So I didn't
maybe
have
I
any
just
of the
made it up
motion.
in my head that it sucked at your house.
I didn't have any. Maybe that's why it sucked. But I got the new system.
Are you
and
playing your Ocarina?
I did just play my Ocarina.
I have one somewhere. I can't remember where it is.
I bought one when I was in high school. I don't know what I did with it.
I remember being, for some reason, I was just really excited about getting an ocarina, and so I bought one. And I learned a bunch of tunes, but now I can't remember how to play it. So
This one was a gift from another YouTuber actually.
oh, that's
Cool.
awesome.
You know, okay, so thinking about, for some reason, I don't know why I was just going to talk about, like, all the stupid videos we used to make.
As a kid,
You have
Yeah.
no idea.
Yeah.
are you talking about the time we tried to start the channel when we were like 15?
Yeah. That was
So
interesting.
Twilight Princess, one of the first things that we ever tried to do. This was like you tell the story better. Let's Plays were just kind
I
of
don't
coming
think
up.
it was even it was like a
Yeah.
walkthrough that we found of
Walkthroughs.
someone.
That's what it was. IGN walkthroughs, and we were
Oh.
playing. We were playing Twilight Princess, and you were like, "We could make a walkthrough like that," and so we were trying to record it on my phone. But
You propped it up on the couch or the chair, didn't you?
Yeah, I think I just held it. I don't even think
Was
we
it
were
on
that
Pointed
smart.
at the screen.
Yeah, just pointing at the screen.
Was it on your phone? I thought it was on like a really old camcorder.
It might have been on an old camcorder. All I remember was that there were two girls that kept calling us for some reason while we
You
were trying
poor
to do
things. You
Yeah.
poor things.
it. Ryan's like, God, you had girls calling you.
But I don't think. I think we just talked to him while we were. or
Yeah,
you
we ended
talked to him.
we ended up just talking to him while we were recording this. So.
But for some reason, when we were filming it, like, I had to get it perfect for some reason. If I even missed one thing, I'd be like, "Dang it, we have to start over," and we'd start the whole thing over. And I don't think anything ever came to like fruition
Because
from that.
editing wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't know about editing.
I don't know. You may have just
Yup.
started like editing stuff on Mac.
I may had known at that point, but I don't.
We
think
filmed
so.
really stupid videos on like the photo booth thing.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
I'll be real with you. I can probably beat you for most embarrassing first YouTube channel.
Go for
Oh,
it.
God.
Go for it.
I'm not going to say the name of it right now, but I have 3 previously created YouTube channels.
Uh huh.
One was, if you guys know what Balloon Shop is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
If any of you guys listening have not heard of Balloon Shop, go look them up. They're like the gem of the beginning of YouTube. They're masterpiece videos, amazing. But so like I watched those videos and I was like, I was a wee tyke, and I was like, I can do that. I can make videos just like that.
I can do that.
So that's what I tried to do. I tried to make videos just like that.
Did you copy
And,
the script?
like, Those guys were like in college when they made those.
Uh-huh.
So like they had their full brain developed. They could really think about the comedy of these videos. I was a kid. I was in like early high school, late middle school, and like I made some pretty terrible videos. And like there's like 40 on there, and they're all like really terribly put together skits. Like there's an entire video where me and a couple of friends, I think Cody's in that video actually. Throwback, are like running around and jumping through the woods and on top of buildings, yelling parkour for 5
oh
minutes.
god.
For 5 minutes.
Like the Office hardcore parkour.
We never recorded that,
Yeah.
but me and Brody would used to run through the woods in my backyards carrying like sticks and stuff.
Dude, we think we were awesome.
And we thought we were so cool.
We'd
Yeah,
carry,
yeah,
like,
that's
fake
like
swords
normal
and stuff.
kid stuff though. You
Oh,
don't
yeah.
record it and post it on the internet though.
No, we recorded ourselves doing the gallon challenge and talking
Yeah.
in British accents.
Yeah. we watched some British guy do the milk challenge, and so we thought you just had to be British, I guess, to do it.
No problem.
So we did it. It was great. That's I am one of those kind of people that don't throw up a lot. This is gross, but that nice to meet you, Ryan. I'm one of those people that don't throw up a lot. That video.
Nice to meet you. Sometimes I have hemorrhoids.
That video is one of the few times that I've ever thrown up, and I have it on camera. So there you go.
And then we have the other video that was us having a lightsaber duel.
Oh yeah, that with one of our friends.
That was
Yeah,
so
we had
fun.
one of those too. I learned how to use After Effects, and I like made lightsabers for us.
That's better than
That's
ours.
better than ours. We had toy lightsabers. We just played.
My first, I have 2 other gaming channels though
Uh-huh.
that are still out there if you can find them. My first one was I started one with a friend, and it was supposed to be the 2 of us. It was like right when PewDiePie was like just starting, so we're like, oh, people play games on the internet. We should try that.
Uh-huh.
And we had like a Dazzle capture card. And we tried doing like League of Legends and some Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Right.
And like it was like super cringy. And then I was like, you know what? And he like didn't really want to make videos as much. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go make some videos on my own. I'm gonna do my own. It's gonna be great. So I did Minecraft playthroughs
Oh boy.
on a different channel. And my very first video, I was really sick. So I sounded like I was prepubescent the entire time. And I was like voice cracking and like uncomfortable and like trying really hard to sound like Toby Turner.
Oh man.
It was some cringy content. So if any of you guys are watching and you want to start your own YouTube channel, be yourself. Don't
Don't be
copy
another YouTuber.
other people.
Don't copy other people.
Be yourself.
It's okay to have like inspirations.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
I'd say,
inspiration
like,
is everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Super
the reason
mega-
the reason I picked up a camera in the first place is because of Olin Rogers, which is one of the guys from Balloon Shop.
Yeah.
He's like a huge inspiration of mine.
I'd say that like super mega game grumps were like a big thing
For you.
me wanting to start it.
Funhouse is really who I kind of started watching. And then I don't know if I was watching them when we first started talking about doing the channel or if I was watching someone else. And then I found them and was like, this is what I want to do with it.
Maybe
So, anywho.
if I ever
Well, you guys
learn how to edit-
are kind of a unique format.
You think so?
Yeah. There's not a lot of well, I mean, honestly, even I am a little bit, but like, I think the modern thing, gosh, how old am I? The thing that people are doing now
Right.
on YouTube for gaming is like, there's like one guy who's like an overblown personality,
Right.
and like he gets really big really fast, and then eventually he tires out and becomes doing whatever he wants. And like Markiplier is starting to approach that now too.
right.
Like, you can tell he's sick of gaming.
Right.
He's started
PewDiePie
filming,
took
like,
him
a lot of
years,
live
but he's
action
sick of it
stuff.
too.
Right.
Jacksepticeye is now starting to move toward music videos. Like,
I've noticed that too. Yeah.
but you guys are kind of doing your own thing, and it's something that like I like to do as well. But I also think it's a part of the reason we're not growing as much is because we don't want to give into what we want, what people will like automatically watch, and what people are like expecting to see, and we're doing what we want to make.
Right.
And like, you guys are doing like a duo.
Right.
Like, there's like very, very few things in your channel that's not you two together.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, it's really cool because no one really does that, you know? Like, like me and Ben tried that at the beginning, and then I think Ben tired out of it, and like it wasn't really his passion, which I don't blame him for. That's his own
Right.
thing. And he left, and then Cody jumped in, and Cody just like does not have the time. Like,
Right.
I understand. Like 100%. He just like does not have the time to invest in it like I do. And like I don't have the time to invest in it like I do.
That's kind of
but-
how we feel.
It's like it's really cool that like there are small creators like us that are like willing to like try new things even though
Right.
we know that it's not going to bring us growth. So
Well, thanks,
that was a
Ryan.
rant. I'm sorry.
You put you put that a lot better than I ever could about us.
Yeah.
So.
I don't. I know the thing is like we discussed of like we've always wanted it to be both of us. I don't think I could ever do a channel by myself. I'm not
No.
that interesting of
No.
a person.
That's what one of the big things for us is. So I have a full-time job here where we live, but Brody has kind of been trying to figure something out. So it's been a constant fear that he might have to move off to go work, and it's kind of like, what are we going to do with the channel after that? So, that's been a wonder recently. So like my wife who plays she'll be in the occasional video. So we've kind of done some things with her. So maybe that's where it goes. I don't know. But anyway,
Wife
Well, I
and
mean, like,
husband
hey,
gaming
I
channel.
mean,
wife and husband gaming.
hopefully, I hope the best for you guys. I hope you guys take off. That would be really cool to see.
Thanks,
If
Ryan.
maybe one day this video will have a lot of views and a bunch of people are going to be commenting on what I'm saying right now.
They'll be like, how do you predict the future?
How do you predict the future?
I'm classy like that.
Hey, there you go. He's classy.
Like, I have always been more drawn to like groups of people for Let's Plays, like Funhouse, Game Grumps,
Yeah.
Super Mega, Super Best Friends Play. Like, all of those are like, it's always more interesting to see like the interactions between the people instead of
Yeah.
like the game.
It's easier to record those videos too.
Yeah, totally.
It's like
Because you're not
there's
relying
never-
100% on your own reaction. Like, I know that, like, I'll be recording a Let's Play sometimes, and I'll be like, holy crap, I'm not enjoying myself, and I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm going to literally observe everything around me.
That's the thing about like, if we start playing a game that like just isn't fun, it's like it really shows and
Yeah.
drags.
Yeah.
Like when we
Yeah.
had our 15-part Let's Play of Night in the Woods, it was just awful.
It started off good, and it got worse and worse and worse, and then
And
it
it's
had
just like-
a really bad resolution. So
We were just like, we want this.
Yeah,
game
that's
to freaking
Subnautica
end.
for me.
Subnautica, yeah.
Yeah, like
I
like
know,
lit-
everybody-
literally, like that was the most successful series on the entire channel. And like people constantly ask me to make more videos on it, and I'm just like, look, I'm no longer enjoying this. These videos are miserable for me. If you saw what I recorded and put together through playing this game, you would not want me to upload it either.
So the big thing for us when we decided to make the channel was we have to do it for fun. And so you talking about, not really giving in to what other people wanted to do. I don't even know that I know what other people expect or want from us so much, but for us, it's just like, hey, do you want to play this game? Do you want to try this? Do you think this would be funny? And so we've always said it's just got to be fun for us.
I
And
don't,
so
we've asked like people a couple of times, like, what do you want us to do? And I think like I don't know if you knew him, Ryan. Two Bards kind of ran into the problem too. That they would ask people what they want to see, and a ton of people would be really vocal about this one thing they wanted to see, and that would get like the least interaction from everything.
Yeah.
And
That was-
it's really weird. So I've just kind of gone into the point of like, we just need to play games that are fun that we like.
right, exactly.
Yeah, especially if you guys aren't enjoying yourselves, like that shows in your content too.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like there's several series on my channel that I just didn't finish because like I was just like, wow, I'm not having a good time. I'm doing this to try to put on a show, and that's not who I am.
Right.
And like honestly, you guys could do it too. I could do it. Like we could be those guys that go out of our way to like put on this persona while we're making videos and go way over the top and like just
Right.
do it just to grow, just for
Yeah.
just like to be big YouTubers or like pursue that dream. But like that's not what we're about. And again,
Right.
that's something that I really value about you guys that I've seen, and something that I very much enjoy about myself and or about ourselves and our channel.
Yeah. Thank you, Ryan. That's good. That's good. This has been a
You're
fun podcast.
welcome.
Yeah, man.
We've just gone all over the place. So I apologize
We
for
have
viewers.
Might want to rename the podcast, not not childhood
not
gaming.
childhood games.
Talking about random topics casts. That's what I can name this one.
I don't know. I was gonna say that it's really weird that gaming has kind of led into like me being like, I never thought I would be like the person that's like, I want to entertain people.
Right.
But now, since we have been doing this, it's like, I want to entertain people.
Right.
And I'm way more interested in video and editing stuff now. And it's really weird that like gaming has led me to that. But it's cool.
Yeah.
So,
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I don't know.
There's nothing quite like making a person laugh and knowing it's a genuine laugh.
Right.
There's a lot of it's like not a prideful joy, not like I did this. It's just like I have brought joy to another person.
Yeah. It's just fun.
And you're like,
that's good.
All right, I'm going to continue to do this now if I can.
That's awesome.
Pretty much, yeah.
I like it. Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to this episode of Chortle Cast. We do hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, there's a couple things you can do to help us out. Number one, if you're watching on YouTube, you're already at chortlegames.com, and you can leave us a comment on that video. Or if you're an audio listener and you're listening through iTunes, you can leave us a nice little review. That really helps us out. The more reviews we have, the more popular the podcast can get. Also, if you're an email person, you can email us at chortlecast@gmail.com, and you can let us know what topics you'd like to hear us talk about, maybe some guests you'd like to see us have on the podcast, something like that. But you can do that through chortlecast@gmail.com. And last but not least, you can tweet us at chortlegames, and we'll tweet you back. Thanks for being here, Ryan.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It was a pleasure.
It's been great. We've had a really random topics, but it's been really, really fun getting to listen and talk.
It's been good talks.
So, Ryan, tell our viewers about your channel. Let them what do you do?
All right. Hate self-plugging. Hey guys, I'm Ryan with the Classic Gamers. We do content very similar to what they do. We do gaming and stuff like that. We're going to be moving into some new kinds of content later on, talking about like what we hate and what we like about games. We do random skits. We're literally all about comedy and all about making people feel welcome and bringing in a strong community. And we also stream on Sundays and Wednesdays.
Ryan's done some awesome like impersonation videos, and reviews. Your Thor Ragnarok review was really, really awesome. So
appreciate that.
Go check out him for some awesome content and whatnot. But yeah, it's been a good show. Thanks for joining us. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody watching, and thank you for tuning in to us. Anybody got any final thoughts for the good folks at home?
Go ahead, Brody.
Let's see. Always wear deodorant because sometimes you get really stinky.
That's great
Good
advice.
tip, especially
You smell your pits,
if you are young and you don't think you need to wear deodorant yet. You probably do.
That sounds like an experience. Did you experience that?
I was one stinky boy.
And on that note, we'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.